Yeah. All right. So so you have so we're coming off of the holiday weekend, Labor Day holiday weekend.
Yeah.
And you had an experience that is turned into a podcast topic here. And you wanna set this up a little bit?
Yeah, I do. So let me. Why don't you? Let's just play a little role play here.
Oh, okay. I love these. All right, here we go.
Okay,
yep,
so,
I'm ready.
So you're the customer. Just go ahead and let's walk on into this establishment, and you're just looking for a beer. Right.
Okay. Now is this like a? Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah,
so
and you know where we're at. Let's just say the planes fly nearby.
I do. Yeah. So okay. Let me. Okay. So that's me walking in the door, right? You got one of those little door dingers on, okay?
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
okay.
I love it.
Okay. Hey, excuse me.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys have any? I'm looking for. Can we sit outside?
Yeah, but we're closing in like 45 minutes, man. So just let you know that. So whatever you might want to know that before you order anything.
Oh, okay, but now wait. So, but you're still like, if I sit down now and put an order in the next few minutes, like the kitchen's still open, right?
Yeah. It's still open, man. But we close in like 45 minutes, man. I just it's been a long day, man. I don't know why we're open here today, but it's just it is what it is. But just letting you know, man. Yeah, you can go ahead and order a beer, but if you want something to eat, we can do that. We can whip it up real quick. I got one guy left down there, so.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Hang on one second. Hey, honey. We don't want to eat here. This guy's he's probably gonna spit in our food, and he doesn't want to be here today. So, do you have like another place you can think of we maybe want to go? What? Oh, you really wanted that beer that you can only get here? Okay. Well, fine. All right. Just try not to order anything that they can spit in.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much my experience.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I get it. It's a holiday, but your customer is not the one that made you work, man. Your customer is not the one paying the bills, the light bills. Well, we are indirectly, but and when I say that, it's like your leadership, your ownership chooses to open the days that they want to open. Now, I get it. We all have to draw that short straw occasionally, but that's part of it, man. And if you're a professional, if you want to retain business, man.
But Jay, I need a paycheck.
Okay, well, you need to earn that paycheck. It needs to be.
I just need a paycheck.
Right. Yeah. No. You're right. That's the mentality. I'm afraid that's where we're at. You guys know that customer service. Where has it gone?
Well, I don't.
Where is it?
I mean, look, man. I don't care if you're open or not. I mean, if you're the business owner, I just need my paycheck on Friday.
Fired. Wrong answer. You're fired. That's what I would say.
Yeah, but that's unfortunately not the norm nowadays. They let those types hang around, and
it's because they're not in touch with their workforce, and they're completely oblivious to their customer base.
Now, this establishment was this Camping World that you were just in? No.
Very similar.
Oh, okay, I got it. This was actually a restaurant, because I had a flashback there that I was in Camping World when we were having this.
Right. They must be looking at the same business model. Here's what I can tell you. Here's the trends. Now, we've been out here for 3 years. This place has always been on our list of places to go. When we have a group of friends that get together that want to go and experience a few of the breweries in the area. And, it's always on the list. But what I have noticed and I have watched is the management tends to wear their problems on their sleeves, if you will. And that sort of stuff, when that is being observed by the people that represent your company, that work for you, then they're going to act the same way. So I've seen this degradation of this over the last 3 years, to the point that anytime we're there anymore, you might have a few people, and if it is, fairly busy and you want to sit down and have some food, they're out of something on the menu, which is a highly popular thing.
So
now look at the pattern.
This is a vicious cycle, right? So here's the trap that you just laid out. Okay.
Yeah.
You put somebody in charge that probably shouldn't be in charge.
Correct.
Okay. And the argument could be made that, well, it's tough to find good help, right? So then what choice do you have? If you need better quality of employee, you're going to have to raise probably the salary or what you're paying them, okay?
Right.
But here's the vicious cycle. You put somebody like that in charge, and they literally will drain you from both ends, because now you're going to lose business over it. And by the time you figure out that you've lost business, your income, your revenue is down, so you can't afford to go back and pay more for that same role to bring somebody more qualified into that position. So now it's a vicious spiral in the downward direction, and the next thing you know, your budgets are tight, you're not ordering enough food because you're worried about waste and overhead and all that, which is what you just said, and they run out of food a lot. Those are all very bad signs in the food service industry. That typically means unless somebody's willing to come in and give a shot in the arm, usually in terms of a cash infusion, their days are numbered.
That's correct. And that's what you look at. It's kind of interesting to see that happen. And I'm a very observant person when it comes to any type of business, because I think that people lose so much sight of what you're actually selling. Now, businesses are selling different types of product, right? We're selling product, but then you have business A, business B, business C that are selling the same type of product. Now it just got tougher for you to sell your product. How do you up your game to continue to sell that product?
Well, you have a couple choices, right? So number one is quality of product offering, meaning usually service related, right? You offer a better experience. Number two, you offer better actual, and if it's a restaurant, quality food. Number three, you do something unique. Now, in this particular place's case, they have a unique location, and it's not something you could experience pretty much anywhere else in that area.
Right.
And you leverage that, right, to to ultimately a better customer experience.
Right.
But that location isn't going to be enough of a draw, especially because it's a little bit out of the way, to people if you package that up with attitude, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. And it was just so hard for me to understand why in the world the first thing out of your mouth was, oh, we're going to be closing in like 45 minutes. I mean, it should have been, hey, yeah, what do you guys want, man? How's your day going? You guys out doing anything for the holiday today? I would have said, yeah, we're just having a great time, and struck up a conversation. And next thing you know, he might have put $100 in his till because I may have wanted to eat something. But, after that initial experience was, let's get a beer and run.
So, BEERUN, beer run.
Beer run.
So, what do you think about? So I guess a bigger picture commentary is we seem to be having a growing number of people that hate their jobs. I mean, I joked about this when we started, then I just kept saying I need a paycheck.
That's right.
But they don't. I'm gonna be old man Keith here for a minute, but they don't. They don't appreciate the opportunity that they've got to earn that paycheck. I mean, if you're good at what you do, the money will come, but you are not guaranteed a paycheck if you don't care about what you're doing.
You have to care about what you're doing. You have to take pride in your work. And this is just an example that absolutely 100% ties into any business out there. Any business, our industry, automotive industry, service industry, anytime you're dealing with the public where you have a customer and you are scraping and scratching and clawing to get every piece of revenue in your door, to have someone working for you that is destroying everything that you set out to accomplish with one real quick word. I mean, it's just amazing to me. And I've said this in earlier podcasts, just because I'm an advocate of great customer service. I could teach on customer service, but there are two types of customers out there. There are either loyal customers or they're terrorists. And yeah. it is so hard to gain a loyal customer. You do that through continuous efforts of great customer service. And once you have them won over, it's going to steamroll for you from there if you can continue that.
All right.
But you get one customer, like myself.
Oh,
that just happened. Yeah. Then I'm going to go out and I'm going to tell 10 other people how bad it was.
And now you've got, okay, so when we're looking for a place to eat, we're looking for someplace new, or we're in an area that we're not familiar with, we do something that I'll bet a lot of people do. You pull open either Yelp or Google Maps, and you put in brewery or pizza place or pizza restaurant or sushi restaurant, right? And then what do? You look through the list, and you look at those little stars next to the name, right?
Right.
And if there's 2 or 3 low ratings and comments in there that say, the staff was rude, you moving on, right? So now you have a much broader influence by that whole social media review capability. If you get a couple black marks on your brand there publicly, people you don't even know yet and have not yet had the opportunity to serve, they're just going to go right on by. They're not even going to come in.
Right.
Let's use this as an example, Jay. So let's use Walmart. Why do you everybody shops at Walmart? Why do you shop at Walmart?
I go in because I know they're going to have it.
Okay.
First and foremost.
Perfect.
They have such a wide variety of everything, man. I mean, it's kind of like a one-stop shop. I hate going in there though, just because it's so humongous.
Okay.
It's big. There's nobody there to steer me in the right direction. The level of competence to me sometimes is questionable.
Okay.
And
so there are basically 2, maybe 3 reasons you shop at a place like Walmart. Price.
Yeah.
Product offering, availability.
Yeah, availability.
Right?
Yeah.
Convenience, meaning I've got to buy a gallon of milk. They also happen to have all the way across the store automotive batteries, which I need. So I'm going to take care of both of those in one stop, right?
Right.
If you're looking to buy a new chainsaw, and they probably have them, or they have electric ones, or let's just say...
got them. They've got them.
Okay.
They've got gas power too.
Or I'll even do, like, let's do a cordless drill. That's easier. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, sure. There you go. Yeah.
You got a couple choices there of stores in town that'll sell you contractor grade good cordless drill, right? Walmart may or may not be one of those, right? If you go into Walmart and you have a question about the warranty on that thing, or repair process, or capability, or charge time, or something that's not on the packaging,
I have 2 words for that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Right. Because you ain't going to find one of those blue vests to help you. And
No,
if you do
not at
find
all.
them, like you said earlier, they probably don't know anyway. So Walmart is not winning on the quality of service front, right? Now, if you go into one of these other big box stores, some of them sell like hardware store types, you're going to have a much better chance of getting, some sort of hardware tools experienced guy that can take you through, oh, well, if you're trying to do that, you need an impact driver, and here's the 2 or 3 to pick from, right?
Right.
So nobody goes to Walmart because they have great service. And the point I'm trying to make here is the minute that some competition rolls into town that offers better service, you're probably not going to buy as much from Walmart as you used to.
Exactly.
And that's what's happened.
I'm fine.
Yep.
Yes.
There you go.
Fine example of that. I am fine example of that. I will tell you that there is a brand name, nice little jingle, helpful hardware, man, whatever, that, let's see, it rhymes with race.
Yeah, I've been there. I bought some stuff there while I was on Fidalgo.
Yeah, exactly. When you walk in that store, they swarm you.
Yeah. Well, they got the headsets on, and they've got the
headsets on, and they're like, "What do you need? Go back and see. He's right there by the same aisle. He'll help you out." And it's like, my God, how many? You have an army of people in here. But I will tell you this: these people are open 7 days a week, and you can't get in the parking lot. You have to wait for people to leave to get into the parking lot. The experience, you pay a little bit more money, but you're going to get what you need.
Yep.
And if you don't have what you need, this is exactly what happened to me. I walked in looking for something very specific, and the guy's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now, we can special order that for you, but I'm sure you don't want to wait 5 days. Go down here to brand X. For whatever reason, they keep tons of them on the shelf, and I'm going to have a word with my manager and let them know that we've got another lost sale here on this thing, and we need to get this thing in here. Whoa.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, those are the kind of people that you want working on your staff. Now, everybody's happy. There's no chin dragging.
Oh, I was the last time I was in there, I was kind of cutting up with them over. I asked one of the college age employees where something was, and he goes, I've been to college. I'm just back, for the summer.
Right.
And I think they moved those. So he found a coworker who was kind of sweeping the floors, and he goes, where is it? And the guy told him that's over on aisle 3 or whatever. And I looked at the college guy and the other guy, and I said, okay, you owe him your paycheck next week, right? And we were all just having a good time about it, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's such a team experience.
Yeah.
It's a team of people that really enjoy what they're doing. They're communicating with each other, and that's how all of this has to work. It has to be a team effort, and it has to be, you pulling up my weaknesses, me pulling up your weaknesses, and not recognizing them as those weaknesses, but recognizing them as things that we can all work on together to improve that experience for our customers. It's not about who's better than who. This is not a competition. It's about taking pride in your job and looking forward to having the opportunity for another week to earn a paycheck. Period.
Right.
Ain't nothing free, man.
Yeah.
So, and I had another experience there.
Okay.
My wife and I walk in this same store, and I am just struggling looking for the right light bulb, and I'm hangry. I mean, I hadn't had anything to eat, man. And Keith, you've been around me when I'm hangry. I get pretty irritable, and I'm just down there. My stomach growled, and my wife says, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm starving, honey. I'm sorry. I know I'm in a bad mood, but I need to get something to eat." That was overheard by one of the ladies at the end of the aisle that happened to be stocking that particular shelf on that aisle. And she says, "Hey, we just popped a fresh batch of popcorn up there. If you're hungry, go on up there and get you some." She didn't have to pay attention to me.
Yeah.
It just kind of came. It felt natural.
What is it with these old timey hardware stores and popcorn? Like the True Value here by me does that too.
I think that everywhere you go, popcorn ought to be on hand, no matter where you go. I think it just makes your experience so much better. I mean, when I smell, there's got to be some psychological test, some science to that, what the smell of popcorn does to you. What do you think?
I think I probably wouldn't want to go to an auto mechanic and have popcorn, but yeah. Yeah. You put it out there.
Is that, did
I don't know, maybe.
Did you burn that, or is that 30 weight on there?
Yeah.
These taste kind of funny. What kind of oil did you use to cook this popcorn in?
I think it's probably as appealing because of the smell in some of these places as it is just to have food on hand, right?
For me, it's like when you walk into some of these country restaurant stores that are along the interstate, and you walk in and it just smells of all that like cinnamon and, it's just that fall smell,
Yep.
it's just so inviting to me. It does something to your psyche.
Yeah.
So makes you feel at home. So anyway. So, long story short is, man, somebody needs to get a handle on their workforce. There are companies out there that do a fantastic job. We just spoke of one. There are places that I go to around here that are in the same business as the one where I had a bad experience that do a great job, and I keep going back. But there are recognizable signs of something not going in the right direction, and people they're oblivious to it, or just not paying attention, or just don't care.
Okay. So here's the real question. All right, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Will you go back?
Wow.
All right, let's break this down a little bit further. Will you go back next week?
No.
A month from now?
Probably not.
If they're still open, will you go back in a couple months?
Give them some time. Give them some time just to see what's going on, and listen to other people that do go, and bring that up in conversation, because I have a lot of people that I know that have been over there, and some have. I just spoke of this to someone, had similar experience. So,
hey, what's the name of the town? Is it Oak Harbor?
Where? San Juan?
No, the place that we were discussing. Is it Burlington?
Burlington.
Okay. Have you looked at their reviews on Google without saying the name of the place?
I haven't, no.
Okay. So this is interesting.
Are you looking?
Okay.
Are you looking
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
They have 199 reviews at this restaurant, and they have a total of, well, I guess it's an average, right, of 4.5.
Yeah.
So it's really good. That's a really good
Right.
4.5 out of 5 stars on Google. Okay?
Right.
199, 200 reviews. Okay?
Yeah.
That's good.
Right. It is good.
Come back and check that before you go next time. Now, we have documented on this podcast where it is. It's 4.5 and 199.
Right.
And let's see where they are in a month or two.
Yeah. Okay. But I will say this. I don't know why those numbers could be skewed.
Well, how long have they been in business?
Long time.
So it's probably historically.
Right.
Those are older reviews, right?
And then the other thing too is demographically, who are they serving? Are they serving people who are more apt to get on the Yelp and whatever to give a review?
Well, there's 199 people that have. That's a pretty high number for a place like that. Number.
Like I said, in the 3 years that I've been here, almost 3 years, not quite 3 years, I've watched the demise. I've watched it go down. The service, the quality of service, and things change, and not a lot of service staff, not a lot of real good interest in me.
Yeah.
So
I
straight
think
out of the chute.
The universe is going to
45 minutes.
self-correct itself on this review. We should look at the reviews.
Let's do that,
because it only takes a couple bad reviews and you're down. I mean, think about it like this: if you're when we were all in grade school and you get good grades, you get a couple C's and D's, man, and all of a sudden you're not an A student anymore, right?
That's right.
It'll pull it down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And
we'll see what happens. It'll be good. We'll go back.
A couple of those 1-star reviews will sting a little bit. All right. So
I will purposefully go out there now.
Do you have any other insights into this whole workforce conversation that we've had before we start to talk about some plugs and promotional information?
Man, we could talk about so many different things, so many insights into it, Keith. I mean, I hit on a lot of them today, and it's just a matter of. I will say this recommendation is that if you hate your job, then change it, go somewhere else.
I will pile on to that and say, if you hate your job, you probably need to ask yourself why.
Exactly.
And look inside first before you look externally at other people. And if it's because you feel like you're entitled to more, and I've tried to not use that term in this podcast, but if you feel like you are owed more, are you capable of providing the level of work required to earn more? Ask yourself. See, this is the conundrum here. The people we're preaching to on this podcast, our audience, they already know this.
Sure.
It's the people that, you know what, everybody, here's how you can help us. Go find somebody that's not listening to the podcast, and when you run into a situation like this, give them our podcast and tell them to check us out, and we will help them become a better employee.
Yeah, right? Or help them move on, or help them move. Recognize what's missing.
If you want a better job, if you hate the one you're in, the only person capable of making that change ultimately is you, and you are in control of that. And it starts with, don't think that you're going to have a different job and magically be a better person. Doesn't work that way. Does not work that way.
One other thing, real quick. Let me tag onto this. This is where philosophy changes too, and some people have differences in this. My father-in-law shopped for vehicles at a specific place for years, bought them year in, year out.
We call that brand loyalty.
Absolutely. And he would go in for a service, and it could be anything, like an antenna broke or something. Of course, that doesn't happen these days. The masts anyway, the mast type, but just anything simple. Got a little tear in the seat or whatever, and is there anything you can do for me or whatever, or hear this tick 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 noise? And when he would get his car back, it was washed and vacuumed and cleaned and everything. It was just what they did. So he goes over to another brand recently, goes in for a warranty issue, was having issues out of transmission. And they get it, and they run all of the plug in through the OBD to see if there's any codes, to check to see if there's something there. They didn't find anything. They were going to review it, look for recalls, et cetera, and so forth. But I had a conversation with him. I asked him. I said, "So how did your what did you find out about the transmission?" And he told me. He goes, "But let me ask you a question. Do not all dealerships wash your vehicles and vacuum your cars out before you get your vehicle back?" And I said, well, I am of the opinion that most of them, I'm going to say 75% of them, do take some attempt to go over the expectation of their customers. But there's a lot out there that don't. They just kind of slam the door on you. You've bought the car, move on. You're the manufacturer's problem.
I have found that to be closely tied to, I hate to say this, but the level of luxury of that vehicle, meaning, when you get into the luxury lines like your Lexus, BMW, Acura, who am I leaving out here? Cadillac.
Lincoln.
Sure. Yeah. That you tend to that is a service that they almost always provide.
Right.
But when you get into the more lower end, just in general, the principle of leaving it better than you found it would be a nice thing to see.
Yeah. I mean, they put the floor mats in and sometimes the seat covering.
Yeah.
But I have had experiences. You get back in the car and there's like grease smudges on the door.
Oh, that's my favorite. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just fingerprints on the outside of the car and craziness.
I can CSI the whole repair process by just looking at where the guy, what he touched, right? Yeah.
Attention to detail, man. Yeah. It's a service. Again, it's a service. It's what we've been talking about here on this podcast. It's like people have just completely lost sight of service. And does that start up top, or is it just the individual? And I think you hit the head of the nail, which is you have to look to the inside first to find out why you don't like your job and why you're not performing so well. What is it? Is it just terrible ownership? Is it
I've been in those situations. I mean, we probably all have, where I've had jobs that I didn't enjoy, and they maybe weren't good working environments, or there was just something about them that I just didn't like. But I always had the expectation that I was in control of changing that. That it was not the man that was going to change it for me. You know, that the only person ultimately capable of making that change was me. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Well, we come from a different cut. You know, I mean, we're of the same cut of cloth, if you will.
Yeah.
In that regard. I mean, we're of that generation, you know.
If you... nobody's going to do it for you, man. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. I mean, if you're sort of waiting for somebody to come along and offer you a job at Google, or, you know, because you're brilliant, it doesn't work that way.
No,
you know?
It sure doesn't. Yeah, sure doesn't. So that's just like me, you and I, right here, doing what we're doing right now, the podcasting. We didn't. Yeah. Nobody came to us and said, "Hey, here's a podcast. Go podcast."
Yeah.
You know,
you didn't get the phone. I got the phone call. It was like, hey,
did you get the call from corporate?
Yeah, we were just waiting for somebody to put a Parts Counter podcast together, and we just thought you guys would be perfect for the job. And when can you start? Yeah, you didn't. Huh? No, you need a better agent, man.
No, we're doing what we do because we love it.
I also said, that's the key. Well, who am I going to do this with? And they said, well, we were thinking Jay, and I said, okay, well, make him commit first, and I'm going to hold out, and then whatever he negotiates, I want double that. Really, you didn't. This wasn't your. No,
I'm gonna have to fire my agent, man. I guess for sure. If that truly went down, yeah.
Yeah. No. I said, how much is he getting paid per word? And they said, we don't know. And I said, well, I need at least twice that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you can get that in or not with me, man, because I love to talk, brother.
I don't know. That's debatable for sure.
So let's tell people where they can find us.
Go Keith, right ahead, man.
Okay. All right. So hey, first of all, thank you so much to any of you who are listening and are subscribed to our podcast. We really appreciate it. It's always fun for us to do this. But you can reach us on several platforms. You can reach us on Apple Podcast. You can subscribe there. That's a video podcast. You can check out the other video podcast, which is over on YouTube. We would love your subscription there for sure.
Say it.
Again,
you gotta
as
say
always,
yeah.
There you go. I'm
I was
going
waiting
there
for it. Okay.
Yeah. Again, as we always say, man, these subscriptions are free to you, but they're priceless to us. It helps us continue to be able to do these and give this to you. But if you just like to listen in your car or on your phone as you're out walking or whatever, you can get us on Stitcher. We're on Google Podcast. We're on Spotify. We are on... Gosh.
How do I... where do I get the list of, like, if I want to, find out how to download the podcast to my, Stitcher or whatever?
Yeah, what you do is you just go to partscounterguru.com, and upper left-hand corner, you'll see podcast links. And from there, you just click on whichever your platform choice is, and boom.
So wait, let me make sure I understand. So there's a list on our website of all the different podcast links to all the different places you can listen to the podcast?
That is absolutely correct, man.
Why would somebody do that? That's a horrible idea.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's because we want listeners.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, we want it to be easy for you guys to find us for sure. And if you can't find us, then reach out to us, man.
Yeah.
We'll help you find us.
All right.
We'll guide you through that whole process. Yeah. So, do you want to know? Do you want to know anything else?
Yeah, I want to know how I can support the show if I like to buy a lot of crap on Amazon.
Ooh, that's a good one, man. So up at the right-hand top of the screen there, there's an Amazon link. And if you click through, you can shop away. Just buy anything. You can buy that cauliflower pizza crust that I just ate. You can buy some of those impossible burger patties that Keith ate last week.
Yeah, and by the way, I tried to find a good resource for recommending those. It's all third-party sellers right now. So the the company that you saw the documentary on for those, they are not selling directly to Amazon. You've got to go through like a reseller. I mean, you can find it. You can find some of it on Amazon, but they really want you to go to like Burger King, or something local.
Yeah. Probably, but I think you're going to end up seeing these things, and Costco doesn't have them yet.
I checked that too. Yep. Not yet.
But I will guarantee you, if there's going to be one wholesaler out there with with the offering that they have now, I mean, they're getting into the whole paleo offering and all that stuff. I will guarantee you these guys they'll have some version of that. But anyway, so click through to Amazon, and if it is an automotive product or anything for that matter, it helps us out if you click through and put it in your cart and buy it within 24 hours. So that's awesome.
What if it's like something kind of embarrassing?
And we wouldn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, we would never know that. We have no idea what you're buying.
Are you sure? Like, I can't, like, my name doesn't show up on like some report?
Nope. Your name is not going to show up on a report. That is between you and Amazon. We are basically your portal into the world of Amazon.
Okay.
From our website. So
does it cost more?
Now, no.
If I go to Amazon after I click through our website, does it change the price of what's on Amazon?
Well, you know what, Keith? No, it doesn't. But I'm gonna make a suggestion to you.
Yeah.
All these questions that you're asking, we also have a tab up there that says "Ask us a question."
Oh yeah.
All these, you could write those questions in and send it to us, and we would be glad to answer the full
who reads
gamut
those
of questions.
Does that go to like
both of us.
The intern?
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, but I tell you what, we operate so smoothly around here. I've had several people ask if they could come to work for us. Huh. I mean, we run such a great ship.
It must be my line of questioning that reeled them in.
It's that, and such a great team that we are. But anyway, so you can also buy those things if you go to mention on the podcast. We always mention something on our podcast, and it'll be there, and we'll have a link that will put you through to Amazon to go purchase those things. So,
Jay,
I
have one more question.
Okay.
Are you getting tired of my questions?
Never.
Yeah, you are. But no. You know why I did it. All right. So thank you for all of that.
Well, you're quite welcome.
What else, man? I know. So just real quick, I will mention this. Little self-promotion here, but for a purpose. I went to the 25th anniversary of the National Corvette Museum last weekend. It was over Labor Day weekend. That was in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And by the time this podcast airs, the video will be out. It will be on our website and on our YouTube channel. And while you might not care about Corvettes, I've had some of our listeners go, I don't care about Corvettes. There was a couple significant things that happened at that event. Number one is that they had the new 2020 C8, which is really hard to get an in-person look at. And I not only got to get an in-person look at it with the hood up and the frunk up, and they had the cutaway car, and they had Michelin was there with all the different tire compounds, and I got to sit in several of them and talk to people about them. And there's interesting commentary there on that crowd and what the reactions. But so just check our website. Again, by the time this airs, it'll be on the site. It'll be on YouTube, where I'm going to put some of the video from that visit, particularly of the 2020 Corvette C8, which is the new mid-engine Corvette that nobody's really been able to see. Very few people have been able to see up close and personal. So we've got that coming out. And
this was during you said 25th anniversary
of the museum,
of Bowling Green,
of the National Corvette Museum. Yeah. Now the plant where they make these is right across the street, literally right across the street from the museum.
There's a track over there and in there.
Yep, I've been on the track. It's a new track. Yep, that's where the race team they use it for a lot of things, but the Corvette race team uses that track.
Right, right. And now here's what's funny about this, folks, is that when we started talking about the C8 coming out back in early June, late June, I think I did my first video on it, talking to a Corvette club. We called around dealerships and just like nobody Nobody had any input on it, and we'll share some of that with you later on through the video.
That's still true. I talked to a guy there at the show who ordered one, and it's on order.
Right.
And he is like, well, okay, so they've gone a little bit crazy in their color offerings. Like, you can get like orange seat belts and weird, they've really opened up the, GM gonna GM, right? You got 1,000 different options on a whole bunch of like, what color stitching do you want in the seats? And they're kind of known for that. And this guy said, I had such a hard time getting any visual representation of what I was buying. I couldn't see examples. I couldn't see examples in person. I couldn't see them online. I had to kind of guess on some of this. And there was I called dealerships and would ask them, like, well, is this going to be an option? Can I get this option with that option? And the response was, we're not sure.
Right. And here we are, the 2 months from the release, the initial release, and even the Bowling Green plant, the facility, we had to wait till the scheduled event to even for you to even be able to see one.
Yeah, there's not one.
So that's how
it's gone now.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go to that museum today and see one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a traveling show, which is a really good. Again, we spoke of the marketing that GM has put into this. It's just such a brilliant idea to do this, because it gets you more information, firsthand information from very knowledgeable individuals that know about what went into this vehicle, and how good it is, and how good it's going to be, and how good of a transition it is for Corvette to go from a front engine.
And again, you may
think,
think, well, I don't care about Corvettes, or that's not my thing, or I've got 10 kids, and that's just nothing I'm ever going to consider. And to that, I would say maybe today, but you never know when those divorce papers are going to show up at your front door. So don't rule it out, people. That's all I'm saying, man.
So we'll whip out the chains. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm good, man. This has been a good one. So take heed, people.
Okay. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for subscribing. That is Jay over there. I am Keith. I will leave you with this, which seems fitting considering our recent discussion.
Yeah.
Well said is not nearly as good as well done.
Ooh, nice one.
Take care, everybody. See you next time.
Take care, everyone.
New from the Parts Counter Gurus. Live life at maximum.